Razor handed here, absolutely depressed that Diego Sanchez is not on this card fighting Cowboy Cerrone. Not only did these guys have bad blood coming out of the Jackson Wing camp from back in the day, there was a lot of reasons that even Cowboy was so motivated to fight, and it's what probably drove him a lot in the camp. So many good things and fun things could come out of this, fight and this card. But, the Josh Fabia situation is just a little gut-wrenching for me. I'm a little older than a lot of folks that kind of maybe follow the sport from at least the social media perspective. And it's kind of crazy to think that the guy that's done all that for the sport is doing the things that he's doing, because for me, I understand the damage stuff, but the things that he's saying, the way he's going about it, is just so heart-wrenching and so shocking in a way that I'm a little distraught by it. And for me, I guess I'm just upset the fact that, Diego got let go, basically got paid out for the fight and for the win already, which is kind of the UFC's way of saying, like, okay, and I think that some of the stuff that you've seen released, should it have been released, could have been gone about more professionally with better management, have maybe helped him in that light. Bellator, Scott Coker has openly said they don't want to sign him. So there's little things like that are not going his way. I think that if there was, there's no such thing as a promotion that won't sign a man, but I do think that this is a situation where I don't know who else is on his side. I don't know who else he has in his corner. I mean, he's doing interviews, but breaking down in the middle of the interviews. There's an Anthony Smith one out right now if you haven't checked it out. But he's doing his best to vocalize his point of view. But it's just, I don't know how many people he's got, kind of convinced or trying to figure out what they can do, because, this is a situation where he's saying things that are a little bit more outrageous than they need to be. I don't know how much truth there is to the QSC hunting him down to kill him, but the memes are out there to justify it. On a lighter note, so we got Alex Morono coming in there to replace him. And now, funny enough, not to completely still continue this negative tone, but if there's one narrative about this fight that I'm not enjoying, it's the Moreno being this like new fighter to the UFC kind of thing. Like, I've been hearing that on multiple outlets, and it's like the guy's 7-4 in the UFC. I think I did a prospect piece on him in like 2017 or something. And for me, it's just really funny to see that a guy who's pretty much only losing a guy, the Chaos Williams fight, like that was so clean, and he loves to push forward. He's very crazy like that. And I think that's where you're seeing some of the opportunities for him get spotted against really technical strikers that can kind of put it on him. The Rice McKee fight was his last big dub. And I think that he's obviously a UFC caliber fighter, and now he's getting that big opportunity to take on one of the pound for pound legends. And, I don't say that with like very lightly, because when you look at Cerrone's record, I mean, the guy's literally only lost to, past champions, and he's even avenged the Jamie Varner losses. I think that the fact that this man has had the opportunity to even avenge some of the early losses in his career is kind of my favorite part about it. It's what makes his record just stand out so much to me, because I think that when you think about how many of these guys have touched gold in promotions, it's just crazy that that's how good Cerrone's been. Everybody knows the term, always a bridesmaid, not a bride. But, it's funny because in fighting, I think that operates in multiple ways, because let's just be honest, I think Cowboy Cerrone makes very good money from the sponsorships and the deals and the UFC contract that he does have. So I don't think he's upset about anything. I think that he's been able to carry forward, make the right, health decisions to be able to go for this long. He's definitely had injuries both inside and outside the octagon, right? We all have seen the memes of, Cowboy tested and all that kind of stuff. And so, coming off of like things, just for me, they always will stand out, that Jamie Varner, Benson Henderson, I can't believe that being able to go against these guys, lose, make it back, and then go through the career of just a guy who just doesn't lose against anyone but champs. It's just a phenomenal thing to see. And I hope he's the kind of guy that never retires. But again, health comes first. And what I do like, I mean, we talked about some of the successes he had, in the Nico Price fight. That was actually a majority draw. I believe that was a majority draw. And so, that actually turned into a no contest because of a little, puff pass for, maybe not so much passing for Nico Price. And so I thought that fight was fun. It looked like it was a little bit more technical from the Cerrone side, but Nico had power. He came forward a lot and definitely landed the shots that he needed to. But that's where I kind of wanted to see how good Cerrone's in this fight, because Alex Morono likes to push the pace. He likes to come forward, and I don't think he's as technical. Now, the one areas we've seen people really succeed against Cerrone is the body strikes. Hit him low, I think that his legs are fairly strong. He seems to take the low kicks pretty well. He checks them pretty well as well. But I think that the body is where you got to go after him. If you get in close, same thing. Don't be going for the chin. Go right for the body. Try to get those liver shots in. I think that there's a good chance Moreno's going to be a heavy underdog in this, and rightfully so. But the one thing about Cerrone we've seen is against even the champions he's faced, there's paths there to victory. And, if it's not the body shots, it's going to be, very much getting in there, trying to avoid some of those, he loves the Muay Thai and the kickboxing, right? Like that's how his style really resonates with a lot of people. And if you stand and bang with him, he's happy to do that. I think that he's himself got such good body kicks. And, if he incorporates those leg kicks, I think Moreno's going to get slowed down really quickly. And for me, I just think that if he's going to win the fight, it's going to be in the first 2 rounds, because I just don't see Moreno being a fighter that Cerrone is going to have any issues with come 3rd round, because in pretty much all facets of the game, he should be pretty well advanced. And add in the cardio factor, I just don't see any reason for Cowboy to lose the 3rd round if it goes into the later part of the fight. But if Moreno has an opportunity, it's most certainly to rush in very smartly and, avoid some of those big kicks to the body, because it will tire you out and you're coming on a short notice anyway. But then also try to land those big strikes, most of the body. I think if you get the opportunity to throw, big hooks to the body instead of maybe the head, and if you're getting close, throw some uppercuts there. I think that's going to be where you might be able to stumble Cerrone a bit. He definitely does get stumbled by headshots, but I think that in terms of winning the fight early and really being able to rock him, the body's just not been nice to him. But outside of that, you look at the way Cerrone has, in terms of paths to victory, I think that the kickboxing alone, utilizing those kicks, really beating him up. And you could probably get this fight up against Spence to the ground if you'd really like it to later. But I also think that Moreno is like such a gamer, right? His style allows him to be the kind of guy that enjoys taking damage. I like that, Cerrone's technical defense in the UFC after all this time is still 73%. So for Moreno, it's really, I'm looking at ways of him really just trying to get in close, try to throw some power shots in there, really finish the fight early. And, if he's got that in him where he's thinking the cardio might not be there because of how short his camp has been, I think that this might be the best fight for him to just go for broke in the first round and hope for the best and try to avoid any of those big kicks that might put him out. You can take a look at the lines right now, but I think we have a pretty good idea where they're going to be. And so, whoa, that's hilarious. So, I mean, if Donald Cerrone was a minus 140 right now, he'll probably lose after I make this speech, but that's something that I would have to put my name on and say, people, go anywhere, everywhere, how much ever you can, go get it done. But that minus 40 is now moving closer to that minus 185, minus 200 range. I think Alex Morono does deserve to be closer to that plus 150, plus 180, 190 range. I think that you're going to see this line definitely move a bit further, maybe closer to that minus 220, minus 225, maybe even a minus 250 for Donald Cerrone as the fight shapes up. I mean, a lot of the time when we see some of the commercials and some of the fighters pre-fight, it kind of dictates a lot. So let's see how the weigh-ins go once they air the rest of those videos. And I think this is going to be one where Cerrone does not see himself losing, especially the fact that he's training for Diego. It's going to be a tough fight for Moreno to pull off. But like I said, we've seen Cerrone lose. We know the body is sometimes the place to go. And if he's got it in him, beat those kicks, get in there, baby, and just go for broke and come out with that first or second round win.